They got my hands pretty for real.
All praise to the Most High God of Israel. In the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. We are the Battle Axes coming again with another Sabbath class. I hope everybody having a great Sabbath day. Shabbat Shalom. We're going into the name of the class is Ye Are of Your Father the Devil. In parentheses, banging on Esau. So we're finna go into some current news that occurred. Everybody that Amber trial, and our whole nation is tripping out over how the coonery that went on in that courtroom, man, with our people, from the judge to the bailiff to the family. It's ridiculous. And we're gonna go into that thing, man, because our people is out of their mind with this Christianity on that they learned later. So the first scripture we're gonna go into is the book of St. John, chapter 8 and verse 42.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 42. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me.
Oh, right there. If God was their father, they would love Christ. They would love the so-called black man that's named Yahweh Shai. They would love the law, statutes, and commandments. But see, they God is somebody else. It says your Borgia, that effeminate, homosexual Italian that they got taught to love. That's who their father is. Read on.
For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but He sent me.
This is Yahweh Shai giving all praise to the Most High. He didn't come of himself. The Most High sent him. And anybody who think that Yahweh Shai came on his own accord, he constantly tell you he got sent by the Father. He ain't come to do his own will. Read on up.
Verse 43. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word.
They don't understand the speech of when Christ is telling them, if you love me, keep my commandments. Or all the prophets telling them to keep God's commandments. Or when we telling them to keep God's commandments. They don't hear the speech because they not of the real Christ. They of that Caesar Borgia. They indoctrinated with Christianity. And they will tell you as such, oh, I'm a Christian. Well, we know everything that entails with being a Christian. They got books written on us, the religious instructions of the Negro in the United States. Our people need to read. They don't even read the Bible, but they don't even read no books that they wrote on us. This was written by a white man about us. They know that they programmed us. In slavery, they programmed us. And that's what we're going to go into. It started from the beginning, though. Read on up.
Verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye would do.
They're talking about Esau, man. They are, and the other heathens too, but mainly Esau. He is of his father, the devil, and the lust of their father they will do. If you look at this society, this is why we know we in Babylon, because it's straight confusion. Everything is out of control. And the lust that they want to do, they push that thing. Homosexuality, interracial relationships and marriages, for us to forgive them for the oppressions that they doing to us. That's out of line, man. But our God is a just God. That's how we know they don't believe in the God of Israel, because they don't believe God is just. They think that they can do whatever they want to us, and we just supposed to forgive them. That's not justice. That's not equality. But our people keep falling for the same tricks over and over. They never change. Read on up.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a what?
A murderer from the beginning.
We're going to go into that. He been a murderer. He was a murderer from the beginning, and he a murderer today.
That's right.
And that's why our people sitting up here going to hug a convicted murderer. The judge going to come off her panel to come hug a convicted murderer. They don't even sound right. They would never do such a thing.
Now, they hugged the murderer, but what about the brothers that's lost his life, his family?
Exactly.
You don't see them show that same support for their own people. And that's what our people lack in this nation. We show love to the enemies, but you won't show love to your own brothers and sisters. And it all falls back to that sexual gold picture, because our people see the white man as Christ instead of seeing Christ in each other. So that's why image is everything. That's why you hear brothers and sisters, well, it don't matter what color he is. Well, yes, it do if it's according to the Bible, because that is the beginning of white supremacy. And a lot of times people can't fathom that. That's going over their heads. That is the beginning of white supremacy when you look at the image. Also going into the black and the white dog. If y'all ever get a chance, look that up. It's a test that they put forth to black and white kids. And they was asking them, you had a black doll on this side and a white doll on this side. They would ask the black kids, which one is the prettiest doll? They would say the white one. You know, which one is the bad doll? The black one. So just like Ak is going to, they've been programming our children. That's why we have to unprogram them and program them to the Bible. That's why you talk with your children, teach them this truth, man. Teach them that they are beautiful, that they're God's chosen people, man. Their skin is, and also their hair.
And just like what Ak was going into, like a lot of us, we hate our own way, the way we look, man. That's why we look in the mirror, and then once we look in the mirror, guess what? I need to change my hair. God gave us the best hair on the planet, but now I need to change it because what you see, an image. Those images have destroyed us. People look at themselves like the younger kids, they blonde in their hair. Our foremothers never put on pants, but guess what? We see them do it because they looked good on them. Well, look at myself. Man, I don't look as good as them. We look better than them. We God's chosen people, man. Right. A lot of us hate our own self because we love the way they look or the smooth things that they got. Man, we got the best of the best, man. They got to follow our lead, man. Go ahead.
And this is go ahead.
Yeah, this speaking also, I just want y'all to know this is these converted Jews. And a lot of people think that you can convert into this nationality because when they speaking to these were the Pharisees and Sadducees he was speaking to. When he was speaking to them, they were saying at that time they were the children of Abraham, but we ain't never been into slavery. They was actually bragging about it. And that's when he was telling them, man, you love your father the devil. So a lot of times, just because they, like you got Christianity talking about, all they got to do is believe the laws and they can be, no. You just infiltrating this. That's all they doing. They just infiltrated into our nationality by being converted. That's why Herod was made king over Judah, because he was a convert, converted into Judaism. And that's what he was practicing, Judaism, not law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right. And it started from the beginning, man. This is a spiritual battle. It ain't about skin color, it's about spirit.
That's right.
And they follow the devil. And any Negro who go along with this stuff is up, they follow the devil too, man. Mm-hmm. Let's finish reading that.
Because there is no truth in him.
No what?
No truth in him.
No truth in the devil. These people don't do nothing but lie. They don't do nothing but break covenants. They speak with them smooth words and break covenants, but then we want to go hug them. Come on, man. Read on, man.
When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
And let's get that. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1, because it started from the beginning. And this same thing that was happening in the garden is happening right now in Babylon. Our sisters lied to, and our brothers falling right behind them with that thing, man.
I love that what our brother brought out, man, on that last part. He said he speaketh his own, for he is a lie. Because he said that's what Esau do from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Whatever he say about you, that's what he do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's across the board.
Yeah, like when they got over here, what do they call the native Indians? Savages. They called us savages. No, y'all, you came and stole us. You came and robbed our land. And that's what if you get on the streets, that's one thing you know. Whenever they started saying something about you, that's normally that's what they do.
That's right.
Y'all thieves. Man, you got a whole nation of people in your pocket. You talking about I'm a thief?
Yeah. Just like when they came over here, they said the Native Americans were savages, right? But they were scalping the Native Americans because they didn't want to bring the whole body.
Exactly.
So they just scalped them so they can get the money.
Exactly.
The Native Americans scalped them back. Then they said, see, they savages. Y'all started it. And we ended up the scriptures that they were doing it to us in Greek times.
Yeah.
So who the savage? Who came out the Caucasus Mountains? Who's a caveman? That they proud of it. They show it in all this stuff. They'll never show a black man being a caveman because they know it ain't true.
Same way with the word cuss words. They would say these words to us. Then when we repeated them back, now we cursing them. Wait a minute, you said it to me. I just repeated what you say. And that's a curse word.
The red man.
Yes.
Exactly. That's another. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3. Let's get the liar from the beginning and the father of it. Now, let's see where he started lying at. And our sisters, that's what's wrong with our sisters today. That's why they wearing blonde hair in their head and going against their man, because they listening to the serpent. Oh, you independent. You can be what you want to be. You don't need no man. They listen to the white woman the whole time. She got more money than you, and she's still dealing with a man.
I was just about to say that.
They men ain't going to prison like our men go. So you getting the short end of the stick, sisters. So they can say it, go be a lesbian in college, get out of college, and then go get married like ain't nothing happened. They say, oh, that was just in my college days. Come on, man, they slick. Let's get that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
No, this is not an actual snake. This is a man. And we probably got a class on it, or we'll do a class on it. Let's go out.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. Yea, had God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Verse 2, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the gardens. No, Salaki. We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Lest ye die. Read on.
Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Oh, right there. Let's go to Genesis 2 and 16. Because what the serpent trying to do is make God out of a lie. God had already told him not to touch that thing.
Matter of fact, let me get a precept real quick on beasts right quick to show brothers and sisters, just like Captain Nehemiah was saying, that this is not a literal beast or an animal. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 18. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 18. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest it, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. So just like Captain Nehemiah is bringing out, that is a similitude to show the estate that the brother was dealing in.
Yeah, and let me get one more just to back that up. Let me back that up. Revelation 12 and 9. Revelation 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. A snake didn't deceive the whole world. So-called red man. That's why he talk about this dragon as red. The so-called red man, the red man, the so-called white man, deceived the whole world. That's who it's talking about. And people don't want to, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's what it is.
That's what it is. And that's what he was doing from the beginning. Christ said it himself. He'd been a liar from the beginning. So we get in the first lie that he told. And he told Eve, you shall not surely die. But we're going to go see what the Lord said. Book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16.
The book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die.
So, who lied? Because let's go hold where we at. Let's get Numbers 23 and 19. Because the Most High can't be a liar. So who lied? That serpent that was lying from the beginning. And that's what we're dealing with today. He bold enough to try to say God is a liar. And that's what he's been doing this whole time. Trying to make us believe that God is a liar. He wants us to believe that Christ ain't coming back. He wants us to believe that everybody can have salvation. It's not true.
Yeah. Yes, sir. The book of Numbers, chapter 23 and verse 19. God is not a man that he shall lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Had he said, and shall he not do it? or had he spoken? And shall he not make it good? Verse 20, behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he had blessed and cannot reverse it.
So, and we just I'm gonna tell you the precept to go with it. Hebrews 6:18. Y'all can just write that down with that. And Titus 1 and 2. That's 3 precepts showing that the Most High can't lie, don't lie, won't lie, don't have to lie. But who got the lie? That old serpent, who's a liar from the beginning. And through the scriptures, we can prove that he a lie. And because he did that with Eve, that sent us down a path that we got to pay for because of her. Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 13. He told her that if you take of this knowledge, you won't die. You won't surely die. Well, let's see what happened because he did that. And let's remember that this is a parallel that's going on today. What got the woman on the wrong path, which takes the man on the wrong path, which takes the children on the wrong path. Because Adam knew better. Just like today now, we know better. But he went and followed his woman, which took us down a path that we got to pay for, man. Look at 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 13.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
But the woman being deceived was in the transgression because she's the weaker vessel. Adam should have stood up like a man and been like, no, we're not dealing in this stuff. Just like today, we as men have to stand up and do that same thing. Some of our women still go out, but we still got to stand as men of the Lord.
That's right.
No matter if they go out, we know they're the weaker vessel. But if we stand strong, our whole household won't go down with them.
That's right. Because it's a trickle-down effect, like Captain Nehemiah is bringing down. Once that woman see that that man is in order, guess what? It's her natural order to follow behind a good leader or a good brother that's keeping the commandments. You know, we hear it all the time. If only this brother, if only he would get his act right, maybe I would want to follow behind him. And that's why we'll be on the brothers, man. We be on them tough, man, because it starts with the brothers, man. And it's a trickle-down effect, man, because they to an extent, you know, they want to be in order, but they wait for their brothers to get fully in order, man. And that's the main thing. Go ahead.
And in most cases, that is definitely the case. But sometimes things are set in front of you, even when the man gets in order. Guess what? Even if that man is in order, guess what? That woman might go off.
Yeah.
And when that woman might go off, guess what? That woman waiting to see if that man gonna go off. The thing is, brothers got to stay on course.
Mm-hmm. Because
guess what? You her Lord.
That's right.
And guess what? Your house is our Lord.
That's right.
So if the house you looking at your Lord, you gonna follow your Lord. If she's not following her Lord, that's on her. You got to follow your Lord.
Right.
And if everything else, guess what? When she go against her Lord, she go against everything above it. If you go against your Lord, you go against everything above it. That's how a brother got to stay on course. Like I'm saying, a brother got to stay on course. She looking at every little detailed thing that you do. Even when you was in the world, guess what? If a man come home every day, when you take it, every man come home every day. When you get out of work and you taking a shower and your pattern change, guess what she gonna think? You cheat. Because your pattern changed. I want to watch every detail you do. You got to stay on course. Everybody say they got game, you don't got game. Because guess what? A lot of times these women watch. Men don't know how to watch. We just learning how to watch now. Well, some people have an elevated mind to see things. You got to see them, stay on course. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to Sirach 25 and verse 24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
So who's the liar? Because he got all of us sentenced to death. That serpent got all of us sentenced to death when he tricked Eve like that. So he's straight up bold-faced liar. That's why the Lord said he was a liar from the beginning. That's why Christ had to come back to save us, man. He got to throw death into the pit Know what I'm saying? Because of the serpent. So, but we still dealing with this serpent today. Our people need to wake up. The Most High gonna keep punishing us and keep sentencing people to death. Because those type of people ain't gonna never see it. When you go and hug your enemy, that means you blind. You groping in noonday. Because I don't know where they do that at. In no country on the planet. I just can't see it. I can't see it. But in our nation, we do this type of folly. That's crazy, man.
Matter of fact, let's jump down to 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. I'm gonna show you something right quick, man. Read it up.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is a true saying.
This is a true saying. We don't
If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire a good work.
If a man wants to be an overseer, a person in leadership, this is a good work for a brother to desire, because every brother should want to desire to be in the leadership role, man.
Verse 2, a bishop then must be blameless.
He must be blameless, man. Because a lot of times people walk around and be in a higher level, and guess what? And a lot of these brothers don't be blameless. They don't want to be blameless. And a lot of these brothers want to. You can blame them about everything because they do a lot of stuff and they don't care. But we got to be blameless, man. We don't know.
The husband of one wife.
The husband of one wife. Now it's talk about you're supposed to be a husband of one wife. That can be broke down in many different ways. But you got to be a husband of one church, man. We got to stay on course, man. We don't know.
Vigilant. Sober.
Got to be sober, man. Because there ain't no getting high. Guess what? Even if you're drinking a little bit, guess what? You should know your level. When you feeling tipsy, guess what? You need to put that bottle down, man. Read on up.
Of good behavior.
You got to have good behavior. Read on up.
Given to hospitality.
And to do what else?
Apt to teach.
Got to be ready to teach at all times. In season, out of season. Read on up.
Not giving too much wine.
Not giving too much wine. Read on.
Nor striker.
No striker.
Not greedy. Of filthy lucre.
Yeah, we're going after money and being greedy. We don't go ahead,
but patient.
Now, you got to be patient with your family, your congregation, and all the things that you're doing. Read up.
Not a brawler.
Not a brawler. We don't.
Not covetous.
Because that's a big problem in Israel too. But this is the part that I need to touch it for first and foremost about people in their household. Read on up.
Verse 4. One that ruleth well his own house.
Now, it's going to show you how to rule your own household well. Because guess what? Sometimes our women go off. Just because they go off, you stay the course. Now, this is how you rule your household well. Read the next part.
Having his children in subjection.
No, his wife.
Having his children in subjection.
Having his children in subjection. See, the thing is, even if that woman go off, you keep them children in order. Because that's your seed. The man, guess what? Them are your seed. They supposed to follow you. But the thing is, we know that this court system and how this thing works, they'll let the woman get the children if things go sour in y'all relationship. If that woman go off, you feed them children the knowledge of this Bible. That's what us men supposed to do. Having our children, this is how men rule their own household. Guess what? And that's how you rule the church. Read the next part,
with all gravity.
With all gravity. Read on.
For if a man know not how to rule his own
he don't
house,
know how to keep them children in order. Read on,
how shall he take care of the church?
How he gonna take care of the church of God? Because guess what? That woman is grown. She can do what she want to do. If she goes off, that's on her. We cannot play the game with the Lord, man. That's why the Lord said we don't make these scriptures up. We just read them and we break them down and show you what the Lord give us, man. We got to have them children in order. That's our job, to get them children in order. Guess what? When all the prophets on their deathbed, guess who was standing behind? They ain't talking about their wife standing beside their bed. Who they was talking about standing beside the bed? The children. Because the man's giving out blessings. We got to have ourselves in order with the Lord, man. No matter if other people go off, you stay the course. That's the whole point. Go ahead.
Let's prove that point. Let's go back to Adam and Eve. And let's prove that point. Let's see what happened with their children. Y'all already know what happened, but we're going to go back over. Because why? She got out of line. Adam followed behind her. And what happened to their children? And this is where that murderer from the beginning come into play at. That spirit. She let that spirit of the serpent get on her. And it went on her children.
And we always take things in context, like we say. What color was Cain, Brother Abayi?
I say he's white.
According to the scriptures, according to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, what color was it? Remember,
He's black.
he was black. So what? It don't have a lot of time. It don't mean nothing about skin color. It's some black devils out here, man.
Because
A lot of them are. So, like we say, he had exactly. It was the spirit. He had the spirit of Esau. So then the Most High put plagues on him, and he came back to reach regeneration as Esau. Another story.
That's right. We gonna go into that because all is tied in together, and it all come up to today. That's why we see him because it started from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Read that out. Book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
Now, why would he slay his own brother when Adam was a god and he knew God's commandments? Because Adam got out the way of what he was supposed to be doing. Just like the scripture was talking about in 1 Timothy. Because he followed the woman, the whole household went out of order. And this man killed his own brother. That's what's happening today. Because the man is out of order with the Lord. The woman is out of order with the Lord. The children is out of order with the Lord. And we slaying our own brothers. Let's drop down to verse 14.
Verse 14. Behold, thou,
13.
verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Don't that sound like Esau? Don't that sound like Esau? You slew your brother, but the punishment you got to get is greater than you can bear. What about what you did to your brother? That's what they did in that courtroom. Oh, and I heard Negroes on the radio say, well, it's going to be hard for her because she was a police officer. She got to go do 10 years and they're going to have her in isolation and she's going to be locked up 23 hours and only get out one. Who cares? What about that brother who dead?
That's right.
Why is y'all concerned about what she going to go through? I watch 48 hours all the time. Is anybody concerned about what them brothers going to go through when they get in there? But all of a sudden they concerned about, and they ain't even putting in effect that she ain't even going to do the whole 10 years.
For real. That's the point too.
They ain't even putting in effect that they came and comfort her. But that don't matter. Read that out.
Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
Hold up, I want to touch something right quick, man. Read verse 13 again.
Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Jump up to verse 6.
Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth?
He said, man, why are you mad, Cain? Read.
And why is thy countenance fallen?
Now, why your face changed? Read on up.
Verse 7. If thou doest well.
Now, the Lord always give us opportunity. He said, if you do well, he gave us an opportunity. Guess what? A lot of times Esau have a way to, man, guess what? A lot of times Esau have a way too. They choose to eat, even though they know the right way.
And like you're saying, even like Captain Jerbaugh bringing that, if thou doest well, if thou keepest the commandments, that's what the doing well is. Thou shalt, so like, let me start off verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Now, it's going to let you, this next part going to let you know that the commandments was here. Read on up.
If thou doest not well, sin lies at the door.
Now, where is sin at? What is sin? It's breaking of God's laws, right? That was there from the beginning. They'll let you know that our laws been here from the beginning. Moses just came and gave it to the children of Israel, but the laws was here from the beginning.
Like I say, he reintroduced it back to the children of Israel.
Like,
and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So I got a question to the brothers. Brother Aaron, when you are in sin, who is your God? That's right. So this is what this is mean. That's what that last part means. And unto thee shall be his desire. Let you know if you in sin, Satan is your God.
Yep. And guess what?
And he shall rule over thee.
And guess what? When you the same desire, he do whatever he want, please with you. Toss your mind wherever he want to toss you. You gotta stay on the course. Now let's go back to verse
Let me bring back out John 44. I'll read real quick. John 8 and 44, where Christ said, where is that?
Ye of your father.
Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. That's how we can connect Cain back to Lucifer.
That's a good precept. Y'all write that down, man.
That's how we connect him to Lucifer. He knew better. You think Satan don't know better? If you knew better, you'd do better. They know better, but they choosing to fulfill their own lust. How did Abel know what to do right, but Cain didn't know what to do right? Cain chose not to do right. Then now you want to come, you got mad at the Lord. Then you get mad at your brother. And then you turn around and verse 13, my punishment is greater than I can bear. What you talking about?
Going into what? Though he sought it carefully with tears.
We finna bring it all the way up, man. They was a liar and a murderer from the beginning.
And this spirit's been going on from generation to generation. That's like the brother brought out. He said that when he was saying he was asking about the color of Cain. Cain was a black man, but the spirit now today is in some of our black brothers, and it's definitely in the so-called red man. It's just the spirit that's been passing on. This same story that started back then, it's the same story going on today. This is the same from the beginning as it is all the way to right now. And that's how we got to start looking at things in the spirit, not just in the flesh, because that's all it is. This same Cain spirit, when you see them evil, wicked, red men, it's the same spirit. Ain't nothing changing. So whatever Cain do, what he do? Slew his brother. What you think he do? Same thing. He's out to do the same thing he had intended for. Like when he told him, what did he tell the woman? He gonna put empathy between
Me and thee.
yeah,
Right.
and from your seed and that seed and his seed. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be a difference between both of them. It's gonna be a war between each other, just like what your body do. Your flesh do what? War against your spirit. Same thing, sir. Same thing. Let's quit making this thing difficult. That's the thing about people make it so difficult. But we the Israelites, we know what the Bible's doing that's going on. So we got to look at it as thing.
That's right. Finish that up. Verse 14.
Verse 14, the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
So he is we know that Esau is a fugitive in the vagabond. None of these lands that he occupied was his. He came and stole all of them, renamed them after himself.
Yep, and a fugitive does what? If you're running from the police, you hide your identity every time you turn around.
That's right.
So when they went into Ireland, so the so-called, they became the Irish. They became the Germans. They actually became the Romans. They became the Greeks. Everywhere they was conquered, they became them. Why? Because, and then they got this old crazy thing right now, Ashkenazi Jews. Think about that. Now we got our people saying, are they from, because when you go and look up Japheth, Ashkenazi is in Japheth. So if you believe that, then you might as well believe they're the real Jews too, because they call themselves Ashkenazi Jews. They lied about the first word and they lied about the second word. Then they put them together. Man, it's a lie through the whole thing.
And like we once said years ago, just think about it. Esau played every character. We were gonna see a movie about him playing Esau.
You ain't lying.
They played everybody. That lets you know something is up. They the Egyptians. They the Greeks. They you.
Yeah, they the Arabs. They the Arabs. They everybody in every movie.
And guess what else? They even play Satan.
Yes.
They play
They play them. You see those movies, Lucifer, all on
They
TV.
play God.
That's
And let me show you
it's
something.
message Christ.
And that's one thing they can't get by. And the Most High be doing that. Y'all notice when they have a physical God, y'all notice they always have him black. In a lot of movies, the God is black.
Did you see the Pope? You see the Pope keep kissing a baby, little baby Jesus. They were walking around with the statue of baby Jesus.
Yeah.
What color was it?
Black.
Black.
They know the truth, man. Written all over. It's everybody, right? What did they call it? Hidden in plain sight. And they like he said, they're to we everybody. Well, who was Esau? Oh, then they had
they put that thing away once they became the Greeks.
So, like even in what's the name? You can sue. They got doing a whole big continent of nothing but dark-skinned black Negro, and guess who ran that? Tarzan. So-called white man, we run this too. They ain't hiding themselves and everything. We the original African. I was taught by a gorilla. God dang it, man! It's a sad thing. I can't wait. I'm gonna do a class on that. How they trying to be like God, and that's gonna be. And I'm gonna show y'all through these whole scriptures. That's all this facade is going on in America. Is because he trying to persuade himself as to be like the Most High. But go ahead.
Let's read verse 15.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain.
He said a what?
A mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Anybody know what that mark was?
Snatch the melanin out of him.
Exactly.
That's right.
Change their color.
That's exactly right.
Snatch the melanin.
That's why we know the Lord hate Esau, because he can't. The son hate him too. He the only people on the planet with no melanin.
Even like I could break it out, man. I'm glad I break it out. Because this is how you break down Genesis, little bit at a time. Y'all keep these precepts so when y'all reading them, y'all have the good understanding. Even jumping back up to verse 12, it says, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth give her strength unto thee. Brother Abayu, what do that mean? That curse that they gave. What do it mean?
Anything he tried to do, plant food, anything, it was not going to yield to him. The ground was against them. That was one of the reasons why they had to go get the real tillers of the ground, which was the Israelites.
That's true, but bring it up to today. What do we call it? GMOs.
GMOs, right? Yeah, GMOs.
GMOs. That's why they do these things. Because guess what? The earth, it don't yield to them. That's one of the curses that the Most High God put on Esau. Took his melanin. He's a fugitive, a vagabond. Like I said, a fugitive is somebody running from strong arm of the law. A vagabond is a bum. He's in everybody else's place. He ain't got no place to stay. And then the last one was the mark, like Captain Nehemiah is going into. Go ahead.
And that's what he does. That's what he did. Like you brought out the GMOs. The Most High does what? He got natural fruits going on. What he do? He took the food that you're supposed to eat that make your body well. He changes and make it his own. So in a minute, we all be eating. Guess what? We're gonna be eating. We already there. So you got animals. They finding every day that the heck is this guy doing with a cat behind? Because they creating animals. They doing everything against what the Most High got. That the Most High actually gave us naturally to do.
Right. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 13.
The book of Genesis.
So let's start at 12.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 12. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Here we go with the finger point now. Now we finna get the finger point. Now, Lord, that woman you gave me, she gave it to me to eat. Not that Adam was a god and that he knew better. He gonna turn around and blame the woman. That's what brothers doing today. Well, she out of control. Her mouth too bad, and this and this and that. Well, brother, well, maybe you get in order with the Most High God, and you can beat that.
Look here, I'm going. I got it. Man, I can't do this, man. My wife. Well, I can't. I'm gonna go ahead and miss, man. My wife.
And
can't do that.
And
You can't do that, man.
what the Most
You
High
got to follow the Lord, man. You can't do that, man.
who the Most High called first when all this went down?
Adam.
And even though the woman get started all that, man, come here. I put you over these things. So when they go, that's because of you. I'm gonna curse them, but you, I told you to be okay.
Not to be, but he said, no, but that's the woman you gave me.
Yeah,
You gave me
That's
Lord.
right. And that's black men like a summer gun, boy. We good until the far down and
So he basically blaming the Most High, man.
yeah.
You know, not taking responsibility for
There
his
you
own.
go. There you go. There you go. All right, I'm glad you said it.
Verse 13. The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 13. And the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
And she pointed at it.
The serpent did it, Lord. He tricked me. That's what's happening today.
Everybody blaming somebody. The man blamed her, she blamed us, she blamed the other day.
Let's see what the Lord
But
says.
as of today, though, a lot of people blind. They can't even see that it's a serpent today. They can't see that it's a serpent.
And a lot of us still, we blaming the white man when I promise you, a lot of times the white man ain't even around with some of the stuff that's going on with us. There's a white man, he's responsible for a lot of stuff. But in everyday life, he ain't bothering me. So whatever happened with me is on me. Because I can't blame him now. Because I know better. That's the difference. We know better. The Lord done showed us. He done opened our eyes. We can't turn around. Well, you know the white man did. Nope. You know better. You know these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Matter of fact, let me get a precept on that.
Yeah, he sowed his seed. He sowed his seed. Don't mean we gotta water it just because he done sowed it in our garden. We ain't gotta water that seed. It's been sown in us through slavery. You know, they've been mentally messing with us. But that don't mean we gotta water that seed. Let that son gun die.
Let me get a precept. Let me get Jeremiah 2 and 33 right quick, man. We can't do it, man. We can't. Look at this is something that the Lord is saying that we cannot do, but it's something that we do, but we cannot do that, man.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 33.
Yeah, read,
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Man, the Lord asking us, why we gotta trim our way to seek love? To seek the approval of other people versus what God say. Why trimmest your way to seek the love or approval of your brother, your friend, your mother, your daughter, your wife, your children, your husband? Why trimmest your way to seek to seek their approval over God's approval? Read,
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Because guess what? Now you trying to trim your ways. Guess what? When you done taught your children to trim their ways too, because they see you trimming your way.
That's right.
Read,
Verse 34. Also in thy skirts is found the blood of the souls of the poor innocents.
So guess what Esau doing? In their skirts, they found that they in America. In the modern day, bring it up. They found innocent blood right here. That woman killed that man innocently. The blood is on her hands, man. Guess what? Well, we want to love everybody. The blood is found on them, man. Read up.
I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these.
But upon all these, man, have you found that blood, man? But we want to trim our ways of love. I love our brethren. We want to love every damn body, but nobody love us, man. What nation love us so much? Guess what? They're gonna get everybody out of debt and put y'all back in the right position. Have anybody did that? And they know we God chosen people that did do it, man. But we want to love these folks, man.
Let me read verse 36.
I was just gonna say, man, go to 35 too.
Verse 35. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent.
And that's what they all think. That's how they always play this out. How you innocent? You just been charged for murder. But they innocent. But she just did a mistake and all that, man, whatever. If I made a mistake, y'all ready to throw the book and put got their hand on that electric button and you can just hear the electricity. So, you know, ready to fry me. But as soon as she make a mistake, well, she just made a mistake. She a murderer.
She is a murderer. Read
Go
it.
ahead.
Don't read on up.
Verse 35. Yet thou sayest, because I am innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. Behold, I will plead with thee, because thou sayest, I have not seen.
Read the next part,
Why gettest thou about so much to change thy way? Thou also shalt be ashamed of Egypt, as thou wast ashamed of Assyria. So like,
Go ahead,
verse 37. Yea, thou shalt go forth from him, and thine hands upon thy head, for the Lord have rejected thy confidences, and thou shalt not prosper in them.
There's no prosperity in that, man. That, man, when they shed our innocent blood, man, look here, man, and all the works that the Lord did with out of Egypt, man, we guess what? We was ashamed of our Lord, man, of our God, of our heritage that the Lord gave us, man. In all our captivities, we have always been ashamed of our God. Our people have been ashamed of our God, and we want to love everybody, man. All our captivities, man. Even right now, this modern present day, man, we still ashamed of our God. That's why blowing our children blowing our hair. They do as the other nations do, because we're ashamed of our God, man. Go ahead,
That's right. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 3. Let's finish that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat up, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
So the Most High put a curse on them. We're going to go into that. That goes into Esau and Jacob, because they did wrong. Let's get that out of Genesis chapter 25. An enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. And he said he was going to bruise the head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Let's see what this is talking about. This thing been going on for a long time, man. A long time. And our people think, oh, it's 2019. Can we all just get along? Got that Rodney King spirit. Let them beat you down and then turn around and say, can we all get along? You know what the white man gonna do? He gonna drop bombs on you. He ain't finna say, can we all get along? He gonna put his boot on your neck and put you in submission. We should be the same way. We used to be like that when we was dealing with the Lord and he was dealing with us.
Back in the 1950s and the 60s, we knew who our enemy was. That's why the thing with Martin Luther King, it made us so docile and decimated us as a nation, because now we don't know, we hate our own people more than we hate the other nations. But back then we knew who we was against us and who we was against. We knew that for a fact, so we didn't have to go through all that. The households were stronger than ever. Businesses were stronger than ever, but then he came in and brought in civil rights, wanted to be equal to them.
And after that, they brought in that homosexual agenda.
Yeah.
Because once you feminize the man, emasculate the woman, the roles is reversed. And that comes from the Willie Lynch. That comes straight out to Willie Lynch. And matter of fact, I'm gonna read this excerpt out the Willie Lynch because it go back to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve 2 in the serpent. This is out the Willie Lynch, page 21, the Negro Marriage Unit. They said that we negotiate with her, through her, by her, and negotiate her at will. That's what they do. That's what the serpent did. I ain't finna go deal with Adam. He too strong. They don't want to deal with the black man, not no strong black man. They'll deal with a homosexual. But they don't want to deal with those black men, that so-called black man that can stand tall and can challenge them, especially with the Bible. They want to negotiate through her.
And guess what? Not only the Bible and all things. If a man if Jake and his wife walk up in the bank, he gonna shake the man's hand, look him in the eyes. He gonna shake the woman hand, look her in the eyes. And guess who he gonna talk to the most? Her. All y'all negotiation bees, and guess who he won't talk to? Her. Every time. Don't want to talk to you. Guess what? If you move, guess what? Even with Section 8 housing, Man go, we'll give you Section 8. We'll take care of you. We'll give you food stamps and everything, but he got to go.
He got to go.
They want to negotiate with her. The devil gonna show his hand every time, man.
They've been a liar from the beginning.
From the beginning, man.
And they put it in their books. It ain't just the miseducation of the Negro, the religious instructions of the Negro, the Willie Lynch letter, when I was a slave. Why we got so many books how we destroyed? What are books on the Chinese being destroyed? Oh, they culture still intact. What are books on the Hamites being destroyed? They destroyed too, but they still in their own land, and they still got a connection to their culture if they want to go do that. They choose to go worship white Jesus, but they can go back to their native village and go to the witch doctor at which running their village and go get in touch with their culture if they want to. But we got all these different books showing how we destroy it, and it just line up with the scriptures. So let's get that out of Genesis chapter 25. Start at 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter. The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So in the womb, they were struggling. A lot of our people can't grasp the concept. Even a lot of Edomites don't understand why they hate us. And our people sure don't know why they hate us. But this is why the Lord put this in here for our learning. So we can understand. Because when I read this, when I came into the truth and read this, it gave me the understanding that I need to know. Because before you hear the truth, like, why do these people hate us? We ain't did nothing to them.
Exactly.
Because the Lord ordained this thing, man. It's been since the beginning. Read on.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
No,
2 nations are in thy womb.
a lot of our people can't grasp that concept. But we dealing with the Most High. All things is possible with the Most High. They can't grasp how 2 different nations are in the womb. But National Geographic will show you all day.
For real.
But you'll believe them. But you won't believe what the scriptures say.
And they try to make it as like, well, if they twin, then if they fight against each other, then they must be in the same bag. They must be identical then. He said 2 nations. That's the understanding that they missing. It's 2 nations in your womb. He didn't look here. He didn't say identical twins. He said 2 nations of people, man.
But even on a common sense level, we know it's 2 types of twins out there. You know, you got identical and fraternal.
I know, but that's the concept that they use. Because if you wrestle, the concept that they use, if you wrestling, right, that means you got to be in the same bag. Guess what? Fraternal, that means they in 2 different bags. So they say, oh, they got to look just alike. But it's been explained to you that this is different than all the other twins. This is different. This is above the twins that y'all used to, that you know. This is above that. This is not on the pay grade of what y'all know. This is on the pay grade of what I'm giving you. He said the 2 nations are in your womb. Now it's been explained why what's been going on with these 2 nations now. Go ahead,
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Those are 2 different people. These are on 2. This is on a different playing level now. That's the thing that they miss, because a lot of times I see people with the brothers that went off. Them brothers went all the way off the rock. They bring out Esau, not the so-called redhead. Don't reach. Don't reach. You can't make them scriptures say more than what it say. Don't add or take away from the word, man.
Let me read this right quick. The book of Isaiah, hold what y'all got. The book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. We trying to understand what God put forth. We can't barely understand what we doing today. So we finna try to outthink God when he made everything. He said it's 2 nations in her womb. It's 2 nations in her womb. And we even shown the facts. The facts is there. If the white man bring them out there, believe that.
All day.
All day. Well, you want to believe it? Go to National Geographic and pull up about them 2 sisters them two little girls, one of them white, one of them black. They come from the same mom and dad.
Mhm.
If you don't believe us, maybe you'll believe your oppressor. All right.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger.
Now we know this is a fact. You put one white boy and one Jake side by side, that white boy don't want none. Even the toughest white boy they got.
No.
Great white hope. You can bring the great white hope to just a regular brother. He don't want none. That's why they always got the lynchers.
You gonna find a weapon.
Go find a weapon. And it got to be multiples. I'm yet to see one white boy do anything by himself.
That's right.
Why you think they've been lynching for hundreds of years? Because they gotta have a crew. We'll walk somewhere by ourselves. I know it's been plenty of times I've been the only so-called black dude in a room full of white people. And I don't care. Because I don't bar them. That's just my mentality. Know what I'm saying? But their mentality is different. Let them walk, one white boy walking here with us. Oh, he gonna be startled. Did I interrupt something? We gonna come in and start talking to everybody. What's going on up here, man? Y'all got something to eat? Because we don't care. We don't bar them. They don't startle us. But when they come with that lynch mob, then their whole mentality changed then. Because that's what they got to do, because they know we stronger than them. Look at the NFL. That's just facts. The NFL is over 70% black men. Why?
That's right.
If they was all that, you know they tried to keep us from playing all the sports and had it all white baseball, all white football, all white basketball. That sucked, and they knew it. They knew it sucked. But shoot, we see this Negro League over here, Satchel Paige and all them. Man, they over there looking good. They showing that. But we don't want Satchel. Let's get us a docile Negro that we can bring up here. He good. Let's get Jackie. Jackie ain't gonna say nothing because they handpicked him.
Yeah.
They didn't just go say, man, Satchel come on. Satchel was a fool with him. Mm-hmm. They went, they searched us. Mm-hmm.
Diligence.
Diligence search. Which one of these niggas we can call a nigga and he ain't gonna do nothing. And I don't want to talk down on Jackie because I know he held his peace on a lot of it, but I couldn't do it. But that come from us wanting something from them. We could have been still playing a Negro League. What's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. We should have been still playing a Negro League. We should have been, it was better for us and for our people. Our people then, once they integrated, then our people had to go and get called niggers and all this different stuff just to go see a baseball game. Is it worth it? Just because we want to be equal.
And speaking on that strength that he brought up about Satchel Paige, Satchel Paige was 47 years old when they finally let him in the majors. Don't you know that at 47 years old, he was Rookie of the Year? Mm-hmm. Rookie of the Year. With the 18-year-olds, the 19s, and the 20s of the white boys, he was Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. That's our people, man.
Mm-hmm. We just got to stay away from wanting anything from them. That's the whole key to it. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Any man that loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
That's right.
Let's finish the Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like in hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
They called him what up?
They called his name Esau.
Now it's not even, I'm not even gonna go into the Arab stuff. We down in Texas. We see the people panhandling or jogging or whatever. And when that sun hit their skin, they turn red. And the proof in the pudding, they call themselves rednecks. But we finna argue against that. Our people so high and mighty and smart. No, he not Esau. He know he Esau. That's why he don't want to talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it. Let's keep that quiet.
Mhm.
It's like they keeping us quiet about being Israelites. They ain't gonna put that on the news.
That's right.
That's how you know, man. Everybody else claim what they are, but they don't want us to know who we are, and they don't want us to know who they are.
And even though they make out, and guess what? Even our so-called people that they got on forefront, like the TD Jakes and all, they know who they are too. TD Jakes verbatimly said, "I'm from the Igbo tribe." But he said, "Stand up, Billy." Something to the Edomite, "Stand up, Billy." That brother no more. He said, that brother just as much Gentile as I am. What the
Bro.
hell is you
Yeah,
doing?
they just said that's why he just twisted up. Most I'll be twisting their mind. Think about it. I'm gonna tell you, when you go home, anybody, even when right now, somebody gonna go buy a new TV. The only time you're adjusting your color on TV is why? Because that white man is red as hell on that TV, and you trying to get him to be, you trying to dial him down. You trying to be like, he did. You ain't adjusting the blue. You ain't adjusting nothing. You trying to get that so-called white man to get a little bit lighter, and it'd be hard. And then when you kind of take it all the way out, you know, lost color through the whole screen trying to get that white man to be other than what he is.
And then they be different shades of red too.
Yeah.
You'll change the channel
Exactly.
to another color of red. You're like, hey, I just adjusted. Don't have high definition either. It's old. Go put it on Fox News and have high definition. They're gonna be all shades of red.
And the redder they are, the more high demon they are. The goddamn Donald Trump orange. He done went past the rest of them. He and then watch. The next one gonna be out there, he gonna be fluorescent. We be like, hey, what's wrong with him? That must glowing. Yeah.
He went to the Oompa Loompas.
Let's finish. Let's go to verse 26.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Took on what up?
On Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
So they go into that Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. When he said,
Bruising of the heel.
yeah, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. It's going into that curse that he put on Eve and the serpent.
And that's what happened with us when we bruised their heel. When David, y'all remember when David went into and set garrisons up in Edom all over the place, and we took over at that time. We bruised them at that time, which is also a precept on that. This is, like I said, it's the same story in different manners over here. The same thing going on, and that's what happened with us. And then, in when we get to the kingdom at the time, they're not gonna be there. The Bible, in fact, you can go to. Let's go to Revelation 12 and 7 real quick. But first, before we go to Romans 16:20, y'all don't mind. I'm sorry to take you over to the next one. A couple of things, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
What you want?
Romans 16:20. I'll read it if you don't. Yeah, go ahead. Romans 16, 16 and 20. And the God of the God of peace shall bruise Satan under the feet shortly. The grace of the Lord Yahweh shall be with you. Amen. And at that time, it's talking about this time in the kingdom, when he's also going to be bruised. And then when we go to Revelation 12 and 7. Which we was close to earlier. And there was a war, in heaven. Michael and his angel fought against the dragon. This is also talking a spiritual thing. It's going to be also a physical thing, which is also when they go to Valley of Medigo, when they're going to be trying to fight against the Most High coming in return also. And then it's and fought against the angel, against the dragon. And the dragon fought, and his angels said, they're going to be trying to fight against us. When Most High, Yahweh shot, our king going to come down and, no, y'all sit back, I got this one. I'm finna go and tear them up. We're going to be sitting, our road's going to be white, stay white. He's going to come back. Yeah, just like, he's stomping on grapes all day,
Oh, praise.
And then right here, then we go, and he prevailed not. neither was there a place found any more in heaven. He's totally out the kingdom. And there's going to be a bruise on him, because that was one of the curses that was going to fall upon Satan. And the same seed who got Satan, who got the seed of Satan, and who has that now. There you go.
Right.
Let's go back now.
Let's go to Genesis 25 and verse 30. Let's show that Esau is of his father the devil, and that he's a liar too, just like that old serpent.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, red. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Now, check what he said. He said, sell me this day your birthright.
I stole it.
That's what they love. That's how you know we dealing with Esau. Because they carry on that lie to this day. Like we were dealing with Jacob. He wanted to say that Jacob stole the birthright. Because they liars, man. But the scriptures is clear as day. He told him to sell me his birthright. Read on up.
I fear for my life.
Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And
now I've been hungry.
And boy, if that ain't them, boy, the most exaggerate. I'm about to die. No, you ain't about to die, man. Come on now.
I know y'all don't see the one on Facebook with a black lady and a white lady on the bus. And the white lady, what she do? She spit on her or something, and that black lady barely tapped it. She just fell off. Everybody looking at Esau, get your butt up, man. I'm talking about just exaggerating.
I mean, film about 4 different ways, y'all. But that ground was way down there, wasn't it? God, she better touch you.
But you spit on her.
Yeah.
It goes into like the movie the dude. I hit the Edomite from the back. He come up, he get shared. They call open the trunk and put the neck brace on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
So he didn't even care about the birthright. That's how wicked he was. Read on.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
He sold his birthright for some potted red, for some raw meat. And that's another thing that lined up with Esau. Who get they steak rare, medium rare? I don't touch the stuff. They say, oh, I still want it moving. This is how bad they are. No, cook mine well done.
I heard one of them say at the thing at the restaurant. He said, hey, just tap it on the just tap it on that side, tap it on the other side, and give it all like.
That's what they call. That's how they get this. That's how they get this done. Because when I was in the military, that's what we had to cook for the higher up. That's what they told us to. He said, set it on the grill right here, flip it over.
That's it. Give it to me.
I said, man, he didn't want no salt on it, no pepper, no nothing. Tap it. That's what he wanted, man.
That's about. I wanted to bring that. You remember we went to court. I pushed that lady. I pushed it from right here. I don't know how she wound up in the middle of Mars Street. But she wound up all the way out. That fell off the curb, dog in the backpack. Now, they postponed this case 3 months. They postponed again 3 months. It was 9 months later. Jill Bahada lady came to court with the neck brace on like this just happened yesterday. I'm like, man, she got all this on. I'm looking like, I was thinking,
but we had to see the Lord, but we had
to see up there, come up in there with, I'm like, man, then crying.
And then the judge got the tissue, man. It's like they playing it. She started crying. The judge just handed the tissue on, like, here you go.
And when they see that,
I said, back, please.
I'm guilty. I'm say I'm guilty. But go ahead. I just thought about that.
That's Esau, man. That's Esau. Let's finish that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Now let's go into that, because we already put Esau is a liar. And we finna see how he really lied. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27 and verse 34.
And that birthright meaning, when you get the birthright from your father, that was the walk with the Most High. That was the laws, statutes, commandments that said and agreeing that you're going to live your life and follow by this. And he said he despised his, but then he want them back when it comes with, oh, golly, I didn't know they were going to do all that. Yes. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried a great and exceeding bitter cry.
Though he sought carefully with tears.
A great, he was.
But he cried, but he despised his birthright.
Mm-hmm.
But now you want to come get the birthright.
Yes.
You find out you can't have it. Now you want to be crying. Read on that.
And he is in a great, so he is putting up, boy, this mug here is going for the Emmy and the Grammy.
Awesome. He cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. And he said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing.
Oh, he said, his brother, my brother done tricked me.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like the serpent tricked Eve. He tried to pull the same thing.
But he was about to die.
But he tried to reverse the role. Now his brother came with subtlety like the serpent. He tricked me. He lied to me. No, he didn't. You sold your birthright and despised him.
And then he the one who, and think about it. He tricked his brother to get the dang on red pottage. I'm about to die. He probably had his tongue out his mouth, sitting like trying to look as sick as possible. I can't burn it tongue.
Verse 36. And he said, is not he namely Salaki? And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these 2 times.
Is he not rightly named Jacob? Yes, he's correctly named Jacob because he was going to supplant his brother and put him under subjection. Jacob means to what it means to supplant.
And that's why when you get into Hebrew, y'all ever notice in the Hebrew, they always have baby names, then they got men names. Because a lot of times the men or the baby names come from what the mother see in the child and the prophecy that was going to happen to the child. When they became a man, they got names according to what they become. And that's why Jacob was, his name was a supplanter because he did just that. And then, but when he got older, what happened? His name was changed. Most High changed his name.
Just like
he ain't
us.
supplant no more.
Just like us.
Now you this.
And our mothers named us certain names. But when we grew up and we was reborn into this truth, we changed our names to what suited us according to the scriptures. That matched right up with what he said. Read on up.
He took away my birthright.
See, there go him lying to his dad. He said he took away his birthright. He came and said, I'll sell you my birthright. He was a liar from the beginning, man. Read on.
Well, if they had video back then.
He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him.
And that was part of the prophecy that was in the Bible. And when you go back to Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23, the last part of it said, and the elder shall serve the younger.
That's how that was fulfilled. It was prophecy that it was going to happen. So a lot of people be tripping. Jacob came and took away the blessings and Esau sold his birth. That was prophesied before they even was born.
And that's why Rebecca was telling them. Remember, Rebecca was saying, when Jacob was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Rebecca was like, man, look, put it on my back. Yeah. Because the Most High told me this, so don't worry about it. Put it on my back.
when you go up in the chapter on this same chapter 27, when you read from 4 down to 13, they explain what Rebecca was telling Jacob to do while Isaac was dying. He had put on his fur coat and all of that because that had to be fulfilled because the elder had to serve the younger.
That was prophesied. So all they was doing was fulfilling prophecy. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Right again. So let's see what blessing he gonna give Esau.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Because we had them enslaved. They end up revolting and breaking their yoke off their neck.
That's 2 Samuel 8 and 14. We gotta go there, but that's when David, we had him under that. When we went into Esau and took all that. And then they broke that yoke up off their neck when they got up off from under slavery up under us. But go ahead.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob.
What did Esau do?
And Esau hated Jacob.
He hated Jacob. So-called white folks, go back to your father. Y'all hated us from the beginning. That's why they hate us now. Read on. Because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And so-called African Americans, this is why the white man hates you. You don't know why he hates you. You want to hug him and love him, but he hates you because it's in his spirit to hate you. It was prophesied for him to do that thing, ordained for him to be the vessels of destruction. Read on. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then would I slay my brother Jacob. Because he got that spirit of that murderer from the beginning, just like Cain and Abel, that same spirit. He wanted to kill his brother.
Let me bring something out. You passed by it. I just want to bring this out because it shows something. If you go back up to 39.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
He said, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and then you get the dew from the heaven up above. Y'all see that?
Yes.
Now drop back down and go to 28.
Verse 28.
They getting two blessings. They getting blessings. One got blessed, and then the other one got blessed. This was blessing that was given to Esau after. So now let's look.
Verse 28. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven.
Hold on, y'all see that? See, Jacob got the dew of heaven. That's what we is on now right now. See, we got the dew of heaven. We get the dew of heaven. But then what's going to happen then?
And the fatness of the earth.
Then we get the fatness of the earth. See, we don't got the fatness of the earth right now. See, our blessing we get to do from the heaven, then we get the fatness of the earth. His blessing is he get the fatness of the earth, then the dew from heaven. Y'all see that?
Yeah. And then, like I say, even on a good point, like I bring it out, if we Esau's lords, guess what? If you are the master, everything that the servant owns is what? Is whose? The masters.
That's right. That's right.
So even on that flip side, but that was a great point that I brought out. You understand that?
Yeah.
If you the servant, everything that the servant owns, the master owns.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And what that's going into, we end up switching roles. And that's what we're doing right now. We had him in subjection. Now he got us in subjection. And the only way for us to come up out of it is God's law, statutes, and commandments as a nation. And the reason why we're going into this class about Esau and Jacob is because that atrocity that we saw on the news goes against the Bible. And that shows you that we in a bad state. because Esau don't care. Esau never cared. He despised his birthright. He hated his brother. He never cared. But yet we keep caring for this devil, man. We need to take that same love and care and turn it to our own people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to learn. But we want to keep giving it to the devil.
And that's when you will see a change in this nation. Y'all think this place is wicked now? Let us start loving each other. Let them stop shooting each other in Chicago. Let them stop cripping and blooding and vice lording and folking. What? Let that stop, and you're gonna see some evil come out these people that y'all have never seen in your life. And that's what's gonna happen, because we coming together whether we like it or not. It might just be a few of us, but we gonna be coming together. And you're gonna see something y'all never seen in America before. They gonna be mad. That's what's gonna have them on their head. That's because they know now our kingdom is really falling. These Negroes sticking together.
See, and we got a piece of that already. When we go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, or Rosewood, or Detroit, or Philadelphia, anytime that we stuck together real tight, they showed their true colors, man. That's a fact. Anytime we showed togetherness, we got to come break that thing up. But as long as we ain't showing togetherness, we can all be one.
Yeah.
We can all go hand in hand. That's why he loosened up on the interracial stuff. You know, Esau was dead set against interracial relationship. They call their people nigger lovers and all this different stuff. What changed?
Yeah. That's why I'm glad we got different camps all over the place. Because boy, if we was all in one camp, they'd have been easy. They'd been like, they push the button, we hit this, we bomb that. But see, when they all over the place, they be like, hey, how can we bomb them without bombing us? That's all that they were like, we can't. Well, we gotta come up with a new strategy. That's got them messed up. Y'all don't understand. The Most High is doing this thing.
Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16. Hebrews chapter 16. Because a lot of them think they got repentance from the Lord. Well, that was over a long time ago. Y'all gave it up a long time ago. Neither, even today, they not gonna say they don't worship, they don't bow down to a black Christ. They argue that, well, he's olive color, he's Middle Eastern, and all this different garbage they try to pull to say everything. He every color.
But hold up, even on that, Brother Keenan, what color is an olive? Olives come in two colors. What color?
Green and black.
So do we see green and black people walking around the earth?
Well, that dude told us downtown he was green. Who? That dude, we were downtown, remember? He said he olive. I said, what color olive? He said green. I was like, so God damn, man, we got green folk walking around. I guess he was a Martian or whatever.
For real. So like we tell our people, brothers and sisters, don't fall for the olive trick, man. They only come in two colors. Last time I checked, we got brown skin, man. So there's no little green men walking on the planet. There's no black men. Even though we know ham can get real dark at times, man.
And if you take the green and let it sit out, it turns brown.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, ham can't go good dark.
Go ahead. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator.
Any what?
Any fornicator.
This dude is a spiritual fornicator. He spiritually fornicated against the Most High on purpose. That's why we living in a country that put Lucifer as a show on television. Who play around like that? Who they let Satan worshipers run around and challenge the commandments. They should be put to death. They got witches in their military and allow them to practice wickedness.
Yes.
This is the country we live in. I seen a show on Vice called "The Devil You Know." They push this stuff, man. They push it a lot, actually, because they spiritual fornicators against the Most High God. Read on.
Or profane person.
Or what?
Or profane
This
person.
devil is profane in every way.
He's so profane. They had a thing on Facebook the other day. They got 9, 10-year-old children standing in front of stage, and they got 2 Edomites out there stripping in front of the
yeah,
children, man.
Man, I saw that.
Man, I could have came through that phone, man. I brought judgment on them brothers, man, on them 2 Edomites right there, man. I would have brought judgment on them, man. And I know that ain't my place. We got to wait on the Lord. That ain't what you do, man. They parade in front of your place like nigga, what you gonna do about it? We ain't gonna do nothing, because guess what? We just gonna mark it down. We gonna keep taking records of that. But y'all got a judgment coming for you. Yes, you do.
Profane. They biggest church, the Catholic Church, is a group of pedophiles. They keep bringing their children to profane. They allowing children to be transsexuals.
International pedophile.
International pedophile. A fugitive and a vagabond. They allow children to be, they pushing transgenders on children.
Yeah. And they pushing homosexual on children. They paraded a thing on TV the other day, man. They paraded a thing on TV the other day. Disney put out their first homosexual relationship.
The dudes in Beauty and the Beast
they
was a
been doing
homosexual.
But they put a proclaim on it now. They put a proclaim on it. See, they've been doing it, but they proclaiming it. This is we are a direct line that I'm in the world. This is what we doing now. Even though they don't put this, they showed you different signs all the time. Now they showing the world like, no, this is gonna be going on, and it's gonna get worse from this point right here.
And that's to desensitize our children to that, to make it acceptable in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be aware of that thing, especially on TV, and teach our children the right way. That's why it's very important that we constantly, like we say, even in scriptures, walk by, talking with them about the laws, talking about them about our heritage, because it's a big job we got to do, man. Because Esau, they had that TV on 24/7 hours a day. The TV used to cut off at night, man.
Yeah.
Now they got that thing playing continuously, man, trying to program our system. They mainly aiming it at the church, trying to program our people's minds to be a certain type of way.
You sure right. You sure right.
Television program.
Because they, just like you said, the TV show used to cut off. Because when MASH came on, everybody knew what time it was.
Hold on. Read that. What he said, 16. Read that again.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
He did what with his birthright?
Sold his birthright.
See, it's telling you even that Esau was lying way back there. It's showing you, man, everybody know that this Paul, man, this Paul, he knew that Esau lied way back there.
Read on up.
Verse 17. For ye knew how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
So he sought it carefully. So you dealing with a person, and this is what our people don't understand. We dealing with a person that can't have repentance for the sins that he have committed. He is a fugitive. He has to pay for what he done. So the Lord let him stack up, stack up, stack up. It's like a brother on 3 strikes. He ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Or somebody who got life in prison. He ain't got nothing to lose. You go dealing with this brother and you got 6 months and you come tangling with this brother, he got life. This is what we looking at. Our sin is gonna be up. But we finna go deal with a brother who got life.
And that's through the spirit of the Most High. That the brother Paul put that in there. Because he said, oh man, the Old Testament done away with. Brother Paul showed you right then and there. Guess what? He sold it. He didn't steal it. He sold it.
That's right.
That's like the spirit.
And that's what it's saying again when we read that 12 and 8, the Revelation said, and prevailed not, neither was there a place found any more in heaven. And he's talking about Satan, that same spirit, meaning the same one as on Esau. There's no, you're not getting there. You're not getting there.
And to go even a step further, we jump up to verse 12, because guess what? They're going to try to take as many of us as they can because they know they only got a short time. So that's why, like Captain Nehemiah was saying, you go into all the commercials on the interracial marriage. You see all this different type of stuff. Like we say, trying to legalize pedophilia, all these different types of homosexuality. The book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Exactly. So while we wasting our time, oh, I forgive you, devil. Give me a hug. And you wasting your time. They wasting their time. You need to turn to your brother and be like, I forgive you, brother.
That's it, man.
So you can gain a brother. Because you ain't gonna gain nothing with Esau. What do they think they're gonna gain by doing that? Nothing. She's going to be free. Your brother's still dead. She gonna get a book deal and a movie deal and a GoFundMe. And you gonna be still over here mourning your brother.
I bet you can believe they got that GoFundMe set up for them. I'm glad that you said that too. I go ahead.
And guess what? And even for the victim, guess what? The little boy probably gonna give him a little cush fund. And the daddy and mama gonna throw him a few dollars up under the table. And guess what?
A gift destroyed the heart.
Gift destroyed the heart. That's what it is.
And they set that up. I don't know if anybody seen an opening argument that where somebody had did an interview that they were supposed to. Yes, and they allowed it to go on. And then they said, well, they can come back later and appeal this case. And I said, and then the judge, instead of taking care of it, went ahead and let this thing go on. So now everybody got all this. Man, y'all think she's gonna do about 3 years? No. She's gonna do about a good, maybe a year. And they're gonna bring that back up. It was already set up a loophole for her to get out.
I don't.
They didn't even want her to go to prison in the first place.
She probably ain't gonna do over 6 months, man.
I wouldn't believe it. 90 days.
Let's go to Micah chapter 2 and verse 1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Like the brother said, you think they ain't already got this thing planned out? It was planned out from the beginning. That's why it went like it went. They was concerned about at the fair if people was gonna ride when the verdict came out. So let's give them a guilty plea and we can calm that down. We really don't want her to go. So we ain't gonna give her life. We're gonna throw 10 years out there for the unlearned who don't know that she's not really gonna do 10 years. But anybody who know anything know that this ain't a federal case.
Right.
So she's not gonna do 10 years. And then if you know a little more, then you know they're gonna appeal it.
That's right.
You know they're gonna turn around and get that thing through out because they didn't want it. When you hear the brother of the victim say, I don't want her to go to prison. So if the family don't even want her to go to prison, then what's gonna happen? Because they devising this stuff upon their beds. Read on out.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice
They
it.
do what?
They practice
They
it.
do what?
They practice
They've
it.
been practicing this thing for a long time. Our people don't understand that these people sitting up thinking about, been doing ways that they can destroy us and take us out while they laying in their bed. And then in the morning they get up and practice that thing.
It was practice because one thing they noticed, see, what's the name that ran out? Nobody listened to Jesse Jackson no more, so they can't use that no more. And then they done, and Al Sharpton lost so much weight. The only thing he is a head walking around. So that can't be done no more. So we got to come up with more brilliant ways to come up with, to do things. So guess what? We'll put a case in front of everybody. Yes, we lost, and not only that, we got rid of one of them niggas. On top of all that, we done did that. And we finna put a propaganda right in their face. And they did that. These are new tactics. This is what they were practicing last night. They brought it out this morning the other day.
I want that to sink in, man, because that thing is heavy. So while we be praying for the Most High to, bless us to keep the commandment, they sitting there praying to say nothing. Help find ways to keep us more docile,
like
to destroy.
That Revelation 12.
I'm talking about, what are some of the things? Planned Parenthood, COINTELPRO, the Civil Rights Movement. These are some of the things that they think of that they put into practice what they just got through dreaming about that morning.
The new commercials now with the black and white
Exactly.
Exactly.
The religious structures of the Negro.
Yeah.
The miseducation of the Negro. They planned all this stuff to put it into effect.
And when they are, and now you see it, it's on a high scale now. Like I said, boy, they got that old, well, I'm not even buying that toilet paper no more. They got the toilet paper commercial with a black girl. She ain't even light skinned no more. She in a room, her dad is on the outside of the room. He's a red demon sitting on the outside of the room, and she does this, that, I come, and he send the toilet paper. She runs out. Thanks, Dad. I'm going, where did this come from, man? You know, they don't even, it's like, it's no, they making these white men and this on the commercial. This is something they plan this stuff, man. Hold on. What's that group they got? Remember, Think Tank.
Yeah, think tank.
The Think Tank.
Read the last part of that out.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
Why?
Because it is in the power of their hand.
Is this not Esau?
And I'm gonna show you how much in the power it is of their hand. Who all had Facebook before they got in the truth? Everybody had Facebook before y'all got in the truth? Okay. Now, before you got in the truth, have you seen anything about the truth on Facebook? Now that you're in the truth, now you can see a lot of stuff about Facebook. Now you see a lot of stuff about truth on your Facebook now. Okay.
And what's so bad about it before Facebook? Wasn't nobody going to Facebook jail. Man, boy, that we get treated bad in Facebook jail. You know what I'm saying? White man, look you off.
Yeah.
And then you go on the other people pay white. They got nigga all on their page and everything, but how come they ain't get suspended?
See, because the reason why, this is why they don't get suspended with the same thing I read the other day. The reason why the Ku Klux Klan wear the hoods on their head, because when they take them off, they're gonna be your doctors and your lawyers and your judges and your police officers and your employees at your workplace. That's why they wear them. That's why they wear them. They want to hide their identity. That's all they do.
And what that cracker said to us a couple weeks ago, y'all some cowards. No, y'all the cowards.
No doubt.
We ain't out here with hoods on our head. Y'all go do stuff with hoods on y'all head. We ain't scared of nothing.
And then when they come out with the hoods on their head, guess who be standing right there with them? The police.
That's why they develop all these weapons like that. Yeah, I'm not going to fight them. No, What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create something that'll shoot them from well. And by the time we go hand in and come back, it's gonna be 3,000 to 2. And that's what they do. That's how they gonna fight the war. Hold on, I'm not gonna fight no more. I'm gonna make a bomb. They don't even fly planes no more. They don't know how we send Androids. We ain't that damn, but they call everybody else a coward.
Yeah.
Let's go to
whatever they say they are. Whatever they say you are, that's what they are.
That's when they identify themselves. They identify themselves when they call you what they call you.
Let's go to Psalms chapter 58 and verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?
No, they do not. Because that was a question. He asked a couple questions right there. Read on.
Verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
Who is committing all the violence in this earth? Who is selling the weapons for people to commit violence?
Oh, yeah.
They so dirty, they'd take a country, make it go to civil war, and sell weapons to both sides.
Yeah.
Boy, this is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Sell them the weapons, have them destroy the company, and then turn around and say, y'all terrorists.
Yep.
You're the one hired us to do it. So if I'm a terrorist, then what is you then? God, they won't call themselves nothing, you know. Hey, now we good Christians over here.
What about forgiveness? They do.
Exactly. I just want to be your friend. Let's read on, because we're going to get to that.
Verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
When they do.
Speaking lies.
It's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Well, that's what they taught their children. Oh, it's just a little white lie. Who teaches their children? The Bible say don't lie. They say it's just a little white lie. Or they caught red-handed. Who is they talking about?
I'm feeling sorry for these little white children, man. Them some lying. Yep. I don't give a dang. I don't give a dang. I don't care if they were born yesterday. I'll be looking at them like, boy, that ain't nothing but a whole hospital full of little light.
We're going to read it again. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
See,
Speaking lies.
Yes, when y'all picked up y'all child from that thing and y'all going all the babies in there, that's your baby and a whole lot of little lies running sitting around in the baby. That's what they are. That's why I don't be caring. I tell them little white kids downtown, you a liar. I'm gonna tell you, I know what you are. And I'm gonna tell you that. So you're a liar. You birthed a liar.
Read on now.
Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
They lies is like the lies of a serpent.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
They don't want to hear nothing.
Nada,
They just want to tell you.
Exactly, man. I'm glad. See, the Most High got them down to a T. Because we tell them 400 years of slavery. Oh, that happened yesterday, but like that's not the result of what you see in our people today. They don't hear that. They don't hear police brutality. He didn't have a gun, but hey, I don't hear that, man. He was dangerous to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's them stopping their ear. They don't really want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear it.
I asked the Edomite the other day, man. After the verdict came, I asked the Edomite. I said, man, look. I said, man, what you think about what happened? He said, man, that was the most wonderful thing I ever seen in my life. I said, man, you gonna get out of my face, man. You get out of my face. He said, that's the most beautiful thing he ever seen in his life.
Let's go to Psalms chapter 55 and verse 18.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 18. He had delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes. Therefore they fear not God.
These people have no changes. They run the same playbook from the times of the Grecians. They have not changed the playbook on the stuff that's why we can go into the book and see the same stuff they were doing then, they doing it now. Read on up.
They don't got no, and they don't have fear because they're the same ones jumping out of plane. I want to go bungee jump. I want to go. Let's go climb the Himalayas. Man, y'all just testing God everything.
Let's go swim with the sharks and the whales.
All that. They don't even put parachutes on now. They ain't got a suit and just glide. You crave them. Ashley, you ever seen any black person go glide? You ain't finna talk that. You barely can't talk the man to walk down the mountain. Read. You think you're gonna jump off of it? Oh man.
Read on up.
Verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
All his covenants and treaties he had broken. I don't know why anybody, just recently, the covenant that they made with Iran. Trump came right in. We not abiding by that. These people was abiding by the treaty. He said, nope, they're getting over, rip it up, we out of it. Because that's what they do. I don't know why nobody would still make a covenant with these people.
They said the same thing about global warming when they were going to do that. They made that treaty with the rest of the world. They got it out and put out.
That's bad for business.
Get that.
I don't know why anybody. That's what I'm saying. Why would I go hug this creature? When no matter if we hugging or not, it doesn't matter. They not going to love you. She was a racist. Did they not know that? They just had a whole trial. And you still go, well, forgiveness. You won't even forgive your brother for stepping on your shoe. But you'll forgive her for killing your brother.
Guess what, Esau? We want blood.
Blood touches blood.
Numbers 35 and 33, that's what we want. We want blood because the blood done defiled this land. We want blood. That's the only way that's the only way you're gonna be paid back is by blood. That's what the scriptures say. Guess what? We shouldn't want anything else. We should want blood. Why should we want a picture of another Edomite on a piece of paper saying this is worth a whole lot? No, we want blood, Esau.
That's right.
And guess what? And we ain't talking corner. Guess what Esau reach about Numbers 35 and 33? Because we know they on YouTube scoffing. And guess what? We don't care. We want blood.
Let's finish that out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Oh, I want to be your friend. Oh, we're brothers. Do you hate me? I love
everybody.
You. God loves everybody. Christ came for all of us. Read on up.
But war was in his heart.
But war, they sent the missionaries first with the white Jesus, Sebo, porch.
The Jesuit priests.
The Jesuit priest brought Sebo, that's what we call him for short, Sebo, with the cross, and they said, first they seeing who willingly wanted to do it. Then when you didn't willingly want to do it, get the sword. This is calling them to a T.
See, the Jesuit priest was like the spies. They would go back and report to Queen Isabella. Hey, they don't have iron for weapons. They easy to take down. It's about a few thousand of them. We could just send 100 of our men with guns and horses, muskets and swords, and we could take them down in about a couple of weeks.
And they diligently searched. I'm talking about they had everything to the T when they came back.
Because I mean, and it's another example when you go into when David and Saul was warring against each other. Doeg was an Edomite who go back and say, Saul, David is over there, Amalek over there. You can go get him over there. He was up there doing this all through the thing. That's when David, if you go to Psalm 52, that's what David is talking about. This dude ain't got no God. That's all they were doing. And that's what they do to us today. They get between us. Hey, my brother don't even really like you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They want us to war with each other.
You dang all right. They show that's what they do.
Let's go to.
They down there teaching better than y'all.
Exactly.
Like somebody really saying some stuff like that, man. Man, we out here doing the Lord's work, man.
That's right.
That's all it's about, man. The Lord's work, man. No matter what this is, man. Well, if we ain't doing the Lord's work, we're doing this for.
Let's go to Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
The Lord said, never trust thine enemy. See, he talking about the other nations right there. They want to pull the scripture where the Lord said, love your enemy, when it's talking about your brother. Well, the Lord told us over here to never trust thine enemy. For as iron rusted, so is his wickedness, because he's going to always be against us. Read on up.
Though he humble himself,
Though he come with smooth words like butter.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm your brother. No matter how you feel about me, I know you probably hate me, but I'm your brother. Come on.
though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Read on.
Verse 12, set him not by thee.
What?
Set him not by thee.
And don't be going down there hugging the devil. Don't be holding hand and joining hand in hand with the devil. The Lord says, set him not by thee. Don't be dealing with them, man. Read on.
Lest when he had overthrown thee.
When he do what?
Lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
He stand up in thy place. Hold that. I'm going to read this real quick. The book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 28. And he said unto them, ye know how that is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or to come unto one of another nation. But God has shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. It was unlawful for us to even be dealing with them. I just wanted to bring that out. Let's finish that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he sit to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
He said, remember my words. That's what we done forgot these words. We want to put him by us the whole time he trying to take your place. Them backstabbers.
Smile in your face.
The whole time trying to take your place. Them backstabbers.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?
What? Am I supposed to pity that family? Really?
What's his
Who
name?
gonna pity a charmer if he bitten by a serpent? That charmer dealing with snakes. So if he get bit, then that's what he get. Because you already knew what the snake could do. So it's the same as if our people, like that brother really was dealing with them Edomites.
That's exactly what it is.
So when he got bit, why do we pity him? The only thing we saying is the whole illusion that they put out there, we calling it out as garbage. Because I really don't pity. Because when you go and dealing with a snake, when you get bit, then that's on you. And that's why I said that. Read on up.
Like the black girl at the sleepover. She wound up dead. The only black one at the party died. Nobody know what happened.
Or even like the brother that went to Europe to go to the club with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts.
So you go jump in that line and close if you want to, and he tear your butt up, then that's just what you get. Read on.
Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
So he'll be with you for a while, but the moment you start going down, he out of there. Read on.
Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips,
Smooth words.
but in his heart he imagined how to overthrow thee into a pit.
You can precept that with the Psalms, was that 55?
55 and 20.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
That's what the Edomites do. Say it be a earthquake that happened in the country or a hurricane. He coming to seek opportunity. He coming like, let's send the Red Cross, let's help him. Right. But at the whole time, he's seeing how he finna make money off the situation and get over all the people and they adversity.
Because y'all see how they was doing when Haiti got destroyed there one time. They sent Red Cross, then you hear accounts of them snatching children up. You know what I'm saying? Going in there, try to set up their company so they can profit off of people's miseries.
That's right.
And he said he would not be satisfied with blood. Even though she killed him, they ain't satisfied with that. Now we want to be set free. We want some special treatment. We want the judge to hug us. We want the victim's brother to hug us. They want it all. God dang it, you murdered the man's brother. And here we wanted everything.
They want forgiveness.
That ain't enough.
They want to kill you and then they want forgiveness. They want to sell their birthright, then they want repentance.
Yes.
This is them to a T. Let's finish that out.
Verse 18, he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
He will change his countenance. Because we dealing with the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is a public service announcement that our people need to wake up and stop dealing with these devils like that, man. Anybody got anything else?
Matter of fact, let me get something. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14, right quick. Get another precept, man.
Trying to stay out your place.
We're going to end it on this.
Good, huh?
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 14. And it shall be as the chaste roe.
Says it shall be as the chaste roe. It's been explaining it all. Read on up.
And as a sheep that no man taketh up,
Read.
they shall every man turn to his own people.
No, to everybody else.
To his own people.
Because guess what? This is a future prophecy. This is gonna happen, man. When the wars and stuff break out, it's gonna happen. We're gonna turn to our own people. Every man's gonna turn to his own people, man.
Because they ain't gonna be able to run in their house over there with old Johnny boy waiting in there. So this is your friend. Get a rope. And ain't no, and you know, ain't over there, ain't no white man gonna be all up in there. There's some war going on between black and white. You think you finna run into? I'm kicking with the black dude.
Yeah.
Man, them niggas gonna be like, this your homeboy. They gonna put a hole in his head and his homeboy head, man. Crazy, you finna bring him in there. And this white woman, they gonna let the women tear her up. She just gonna be nothing but some shredded garment by the time they do it.
They gonna be like if they brought this salsa from New York City or something. Go ahead.
And flee everyone into his own land.
Read on.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Everyone that is found, man, with them gonna be thrust through, man. When you run there with the other nations, you're gonna be thrust through with them, man. Read up.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
And everyone is gonna be good. You got an opportunity to run to your people. You going over there, you're gonna be, hey, you're gonna get the sword put on you, man. Hey, we can't make this thing up, man.
Most High gonna correct this thing, man. We gonna put everything back like it's supposed to be.
That's right.
So
No, they gonna put everything on you.
With that, That's what I got.
In the law.
Oh yeah, we need the law. We're gonna bring out the law.
Good law, you know we brag out, man, but this one really kind of touch home. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 2. I'm gonna start at verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thy go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. So that is like we say, we want to end on that note to not even make agreements with them. That's what a covenant is.
Get everybody out. Everybody out.
Call the law out for them again, I think they missed it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 1 and 2. The point is verse 2. So y'all take that heed, man.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them.
No mercy.
They don't show no mercy unto us.
That's right.
But he crying though.
We'd like to thank brothers and sisters that's tuning in. Like we say, help us push this truth. Share the videos, man. Like the videos, man. Thanks for you brothers and sisters that help go and fund to the cause on the GoFundMe cause. Like we say, that money is being put to good use. Like we say, share this video. Help us push this truth, man. We on Periscope. We on podcasts. We on all these different media outlets so we can help do work in this truth, man. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom. Yeah.
Good.